Hello and welcome back to Exeter City, where the summer transfer window so far has been the quietest of all. I'll get you caught up. Of course, there have been transfers, and it's been the start of the goalkeeper clear-out. And we'll start with one that I didn't actually really intend to sell, and that's Pontus Dahlberg, but Bournemouth gave me £1 million for him. So I figured I might as well try and cut the backup goalkeeper wage stuff. Because he was on a fair old wage. I think he was on 28 grand with us as well. So, yeah, I figured if I could cut the backup goalkeeper wages, that'll be excellent going forward, because we weren't given any more wage budget. Obviously, we were given 70 million just straight up transfer that I could move over, but still, having a first choice and a second choice, both above 25 grand, no. Similarly, Gomez was over 20 grand's worth of wages. He did go on loan for the second half of last season, and now he's gone permanently for $1 and a bit million to Metz. And Rajkovic went to Leicester for £3.5 million. He's worth money there, which is irritating, but bear in mind we effectively got £2 million for loaning him out last year, plus the £3.5 million this year. It's £5.5 all told, across 2 years. He's on stupid money there, but again, he was on over 20 grand here. We sold one of our youth intake players to Blackburn again. Blackburn love us, but don't know really why they wanted him. He's not any good. Well, they gave me 1.7 million guaranteed for him, so thanks. Luan Perez is literally just gone. I think Brazil had a deadline day and they went for Luan Perez. I didn't intend to sell him, but they offered me a grand total of 4.6 million, which was in the middle of his brackets. But his attributes across the board, they all had big down arrows, particularly his pace. And I hadn't noticed this over the course of the summer, but when I went to review this and consider the offer that Palmeiras gave me, I realised he might be about to be on the big decline. So off he's gone then. It's a profit. We only bought him for 3, and he wasn't fantastic either. And sort of as promised this time round, Julian Fernandez has indeed finally gone. £10 million, gone to Tigres in Mexico. He's still only a 2.5-star player at the age of 22. I really don't think he developed all that much, considering. But he didn't exactly shine at Barnsley alone either, and he's played 3 times for Tigres and got a 7.23. What were you doing, Julian? And then Andre Lucas Johnson has gone. He was the one that was effectively in the firing line if we were to acquire any more players, particularly up front, because his potential was the one that was capped off at the 4-star, and he's already 24, so I don't know how much more of that he would have grown into it. So he was the one that could go if we signed people, and we signed people. You'll see them eventually, but not exactly prolific. But a £4 million player that we nicked from Real Madrid, and we've turned for a £7.5 million profit 2 years later. And again, he's been sensational for Norwich. But he's in the Championship, so I think that's probably about his level. And I'm always happy to help Norwich out. So £11.5 million, I think it was good value for what he was worth. Inbound, we'll start with the one free agent. The player that I did actually mention, the Englishman, who I had to wait till June. In fact, I actually had to wait till the end of June. I had to wait till he completely left his contract to get him in. Don't know why. Didn't think our squad was good enough before then. And then, as soon as he was actually released, he was happy to talk. Football manager things. But welcome John Stones, England international, 58 caps. Lovely reputation to come with it. I really hope that would help other players see us as a realistic place to go. I'm not sure it has, but it might have done. Comes with plenty of experience, comes with plenty of mental attributes. Obviously his technicals and physicals are still pretty good too. Natural fitness is 16, and we'll hopefully keep him there for a year or two. He's a regular starter for now. We also moved relatively quickly on the transfer listed Yusuf Fofana to bolster that defensive midfield position, because we were aware that Jared Randall was actually a defender. He's also gone out on loan because of the defender acquisitions. Realised we weren't going to be playing him at all. So Randall's gone on loan to Luton. But yes, we moved quickly on Fofana here. It was 2.7 million transfer listed. You can see he's worth about 10 here already. You can see he's like Sangre, but maybe just a few attributes moved around a little bit. They're basically the same player, just a little bit more focused in certain other places. Sangre's got a little bit more yellow, but I think Fofana's a little bit more well-rounded, all told. So, bit of both, and Fofana's a little bit better as well in that forward regular midfield position if we need him there. 2. It's a lot of money for a squad player, but we'll take it. Should also just mention that Ciro Fernandez is here. He was on a pre-arranged deal, finally turned 18, joined us at the beginning of this summer. 3.5 million release fee from Racing Santander, who, that's a lot of money for Racing Santander, so there's potential in him, hopefully. We've loaned him out to Sunderland, though, because we have enough strikers. He's a player that I would have loved to maybe have got a homegrown club on, but With the situation we have right now, I was worried he were going to stifle his development because he's not a starter. I'll also just get out of the way now. The backup goalkeeper, Ruslan Nesheret, will go with. He's 2.5 stars. He's here on 7.5 grand. You can see why I did it. Outbound 28 grand, inbound 7.5. That's £20,000 saved on a backup goalkeeper. Lovely jubbly. He's 2.5 star. He's 24, and he does have another star's worth of potential ability if ever wants to find it. So the good news is, because he's the goalkeeper, he's got more time to find that. But he's just very well rounded as a backup goalkeeper. There's nothing particularly woeful, but there's nothing particularly sensational either. We'll go with Angelo next, the most recent of acquisitions. He had a release fee of £12.5 million, and, well, this is the point where I'll just talk about Sonny Perkins, actually, because you might have been expecting to see him. He's not here. They wouldn't loan him again, which, fair enough, and then they immediately gave him a new contract when the transfer window opened. So, yeah, that pushed his price tag up. It pushed his actual wages up as well, so couldn't really contend with it, unfortunately. So Sonny Perkins is going to be a West Ham player this year. They kind of forced my hand on that one. We didn't have to do the dance in the end. But Angelo is the person that we're going to get in to fill the void of Sonny Perkins. Obviously not a starter, but we've got 3 stars in the form of Mansley, Markovic and Hesham. So to give them the game time, I got one in behind them instead. Professional personality, lovely. Not awful determination, but not good determination. Work rate's there though, thankfully, to back it up. The physicals are lacking as well, but he's 18. We can work on those. The rest of the mental's pretty good. Vision's good. Technique's good. Passing's good. Heading's sensational if he manages to get a header at 5'9". Fantastic anomaly there in his attributes, but can play either the Mazzala or the centre midfielder in equal capacity at 2.5 star currently. But yes, with Hesham, Markovic and Mansley ahead of him, he'll be the deputy for all 3 of them. Accidentally played him in the under-18s game yesterday, so he won't feature at all today, probably. Bit tired. Welcome, Angelo. Not that Angelo. So yes, 2 more people to introduce you to, Eric Avalos being one of those 2. And yes, Angelo, 18, new gen. Fair enough. Eric Avalos is 28 in a new gen and has come from Argentina, come from Velez, where we actually got Julio Fernandez from once upon a time. The Argentine and the Brazilian leagues have been added properly now, and with that comes prime level regens, new gens, league gens if you want to call them that. Newcastle nicked the best one. That was kind of irritating. But in central defence, the left-footed Eric Avalos, who is 6'8", with 17 work rate and only 16 jumping reach, weirdly, but tackling, marking, heading are all there. And he's not particularly slow either for a 6'8" man. 12 on both of those, we'll take it. It's no slower than Luan Perez would have been, put it that way. Cost me £9 million up front. There's another 6 in add-ons, depending on how much he plays for us, but 2 non-competitive starts already in the friendly, 7.9. It's promising. And then for £12 million comes Carlos Eduardo at the other end of the pitch, also 6'8". Yeah, this transfer window is very much plates approved. 19 jumping reach, 16 heading, 17 teamwork, work rate there as well. Stamina's not fantastic, but again, also not slow for 6'8". 11 and 12, it's not fantastic, but he is 22. A little bit more potential ability. I'm hoping I can focus that into that pace. Unfortunately, he is unambitious. That might work in our favour. He's on 45 grand, but he's going to be a starting striker here for obvious reasons. And he's got 14 finishing, aside from the fact he's 6'8" as well. I will just say, with the arrival of Avalos and Eduardo, when it comes to corners this season in the Premier League, good luck, everyone. He's actually got 11 penalty taking. He might be our best penalty taker. But that is it for now. I've still got 62 million in the bank. I don't know where to spend it, is the problem. Because people worth 62 million don't want to join us. And obviously I've already moved a bit across the wage budget and still got 62 million. I think I've made money. Oh no, not quite. I've spent a net 8 million. All that means is we are predicted it was 450 to 1, but we're now predicted 500 to 1. And we've not actually finished this window at all. I think we may have just lost 50 to 1 for selling Luan Perez there. But we're not bottom. Forest and Huddersfield are behind us. Leeds not too far ahead of us. Bournemouth not too far ahead of us again. It's the kind of mark in which you can maybe spring a massive surprise from. It's happened before. So bear in mind that we finished, 16th off 1,000 to 1, and then 11th off 800 to 1. 500 to 1 is a massive jump. Watch out for Chelsea this season. No European football predicted 3rd. And Bournemouth to draw 0-0 with Burnley. That's dull. And yes, we're playing Liverpool away on the first day. I would love a representative game for the first game of the season. The last friendly was pretty fun for Carlos Eduardo. 6 goals against Lewisham. Cercle Bruges was a match for the second team, and then Lewisham was the first team. You can see the difference. But beat Sporting PSV and Atalanta in pre-season, along with Forest Green, but that one's expected. Yeah, last year, Manchester City, and the first year in the Premier League, Arsenal, who have been consistently second, I think, recently. So, yeah, it would be nice to actually have a game we could win on the first day for once. But alas, we'll persevere here. Sangre versus Fofana is actually a bit of a problem. They are exactly the same role ability, and Fofana is actually listed ahead of them, despite the fact my assistant manager wants to put him in. He's returned to finish, though, so that is what's going to decide this particular decision. And the fact that Angelo played a game yesterday is going to prevent him from being on that bench. Unfortunately, Sean Longstaff will make it instead. And it means the lineup for this game is Sanchez in goal still, of course. No need to do anything there. Martin at left back, again, of course. No need to do anything there for now. Avalos, Stones and Castillo still here, along with Murillo. Murillo might be sold, though, because he's not first choice anymore, that's for certain. And neither is Arsby, for that matter. I suspect they're both going to get a bit annoyed, but I think Arsby might still be listed as a breakthrough prospect. Or similar low levels. Squad player, yes. Not breakthrough prospect. The breakthrough prospect is Martin Saunders, who is regarded as 3.5 star. He's not a 3.5 star player. I think that's because of his flexibility in position, is the fact that he's listed that much in star rating, because that does get factored in. He's not a 3.5 star player by any means, but he's still a breakthrough prospect. Fofana ahead of them. Markovic, Hesham and Mansley, as mentioned, will be the midfield, of course. 3.5 stars across that midfield now as well. All 4 of them. Lovely. Uribe will start, because I hope he can kick on. And I'm hoping the presence of a 6'8" Carlos Eduardo alongside him is going to help that. Aim for Carlos, please, and he can head it onto Uribe, who has the pace and the agility to get beyond that line. In fact, he can do complete forward. We'll have a pressing forward and a complete forward. No advanced forwards for me for now. And the backup goalkeeper needs a number. 13 is available. So yes, it's not been a particularly drastic transfer window, and we'll see how that affects things against a Liverpool team that has destroyed us every single time we played them. Thomas Tuchel's gone to Liverpool, by the way. Obviously long since been sacked by Chelsea at this stage, but it's a little weird seeing Liverpool play 3 at the back. 3 at the back without Van Dijk as well. Obviously this far in the future, although Salah's still there, as is Luis Diaz and Bobby Firmino. And Robertson and Trent. The fullbacks are the same, the front line's the same. Manley's obviously gone. Henderson's on the bench. I was kind of eyeing Henderson. He's 36, but he would have been a lovely mentor. Problem is, he did start 20 games last year in the Premier League. So I don't think he's quite in a position to be upset about playing time yet, even at 36. In case you were wondering, by the way, the really good free agent that I was eyeing was Luis Alberto. He ended up going to PSG, I think. So, yeah, that didn't go well either. It seems like Ronaldo might have been a free agent in this transfer window as well, because he ended up going to Fiorentina this summer window on a free, which I regret because he's got great mentals too. He would have been a great mentor for players. I haven't replaced Prato's attack-sided mentoring, so we are still stuck basically with the only defenders being mentored properly. And, well, there's Mariba and Robertson combining lovely on this. Oh, it's not a penalty, is it? No. Really looked like Fofana just kicked the player there. Robertson's got in. No, he hasn't. He's had to go back to Ravella. Oh, they've signed Ravella, by the way, which I love Ravella. And Mariba, I don't know how he's missed that. Oh, Avalos has blocked it, I think. Of course he has. He's 6'8". He covers the entire goal. Salah puts the corner in. Stones is the one to try and meet him there, hilariously, not the 6'8" man. But yes, they've got Ravella, who, as long-time people will know, I love Ravella. I've had him many, many times. He is one of the best players in this game. Well, we've survived half an hour, which is more than usual. Trent puts it across. Robertson on the loose. Shame Uribe didn't really react to that. Look how large Carlos Eduardo is up there. That's all I can look at. I mean, same with Avalos in the box. He makes John Stones look tiny in comparison. And Aaron Martin's just non-existent alongside him. Mariba's onside here because he's run off with his arm up. But, I mean, they've worked out which way to do it, frankly. Considering the height difference, I'm surprised that Avalos doesn't get in the way of crosses from this side as well. But yes, aiming for the side that doesn't have Avalos. Smart moves there. And it's Ravella with the assist. Mariba, I mean, John Stones doesn't jump and neither does the right back. So, of course, he wins the header. Because Football Manager doesn't do defensive headers in this year's game. They just don't bother. But it's a problem with the engine. It's been all year. It's been the same all year. It's nothing to do with the players. They just don't jump 90% of the time, which is a problem. Firmino, it works in your favour too, of course. Diaz, well, that's a depressingly easy goal. It's onside again, just once. I think Carlos Eduardo plays with a green headband, which is on the more zoomed out camera, I keep thinking there's like a glitch with his head. But, I mean, that's just depressingly easy. Is he onside? Yes, he's onside because of the person that's tracking Salah, Martin, of course. I mean, unsurprisingly, we have been utterly trash. You know, Liverpool are one of the teams that we just don't play. I mean, Liverpool and Wolves are the two teams we've never really performed against. Wolves is the weird one. Liverpool, I understand. Manchester City, we put a performance in more often than not, particularly the last one. And Spurs, we had a good fight against in the last match we played with them, even though we lost 4-1. It was even on XG and chances. Like, we were away at Spurs and had 24 shots or something like that, and a 10 or 11 on target. We only scored the one. Uribe's in this time. Uribe's got the pace. Uribe's sort of gone around the goalkeeper. He's hit the post again. Oh, I wish he'd stop hitting the woodwork. That's getting irritating. Uribe. Staff-wise, I've hired a Colombian physio, by the way. I figured if one of the many Colombians get injured, at least they've got someone from their country in the back room to help them recover. But we were given 2 more physio spaces. So we've now got 6 physios with 20 physio, so understandably we're the best in the league in that respect now. Still only 9 scouts, but 6 physios. Have selected scouts based on their knowledge base as well. We've acquired full Dutch knowledge via a Dutch scout. Full... Is he being sent off here, or is this just going to be a penalty? Or is it both? I don't know if double jeopardy works in that respect, because he's on the yellow already. No, he didn't get sent off, thankfully, but I will take him off because he is booked. Salah buries that, of course. I'm going to have to take off Uribe because he's on 6.1. It's a shame. In fact, I will just switch him to advanced forward, which is what he probably should be on, because it's the best forward position. I might get Mansley off because he's booked 2. Wepo off as well. Wepo on for Mansley. That was a bit weird. Oh, it's gone in the goal. What? Sorry, how is this 4-0? What just happened there? Because the game sort of stopped for me when it looked like Sanchez had saved it. Pellegrini's turned up there as well. So Sanchez didn't save it, and it just falls back to Conte, who smashes it in. Fair enough. They keep getting corners and they keep scoring from them. It's quite irritating. Football Manager keeps jumping for me, which is a little irritating, but Martin Saunders is coming on. Have a loss. Back to Sanchez. Stop mucking around with this, please. Why have you just kicked it to them? Like, that was nowhere near our player. And if you are going to do that, kick it to the 6'8" one. This game is dumb. I mean, this is just stupid and quintessential Football Manager. Sanchez saves, straight to their player. Not any of the 3 defenders that were near him, straight to their player. Another corner for them. Not a penalty, obviously. It's not even a foul. He's got the ball. That's my striker doing that tackle, by the way. It's not even a foul. Been given as a free kick, but it's not even a foul. Oh, throw in for us. We might actually have a highlight. It's gone to our player, and he's kept the ball. We've still got the ball. For now, Hesham, still on the ball. Eduardo, Saunders, that's a lovely ball in. Saunders, across the box. How have you hit the woodwork from there? Goalkeeper was in no man's land. Bit rare for him, but I presume it's Alisson. Didn't revert this. So we've hit the woodwork twice when we should have scored. And finally, it's actually we've got a corner and it's gone to the 6'8" Carlos Eduardo. He's headed it over, but I mean, it should be 5-2 because we've hit the woodwork twice there with open bloody goals. Basically open goals. Barring wonder saves, I autopiloted and clicked the assistant manager thing. He was happy with that. It's an appalling result. But Liverpool is stupid and they'll beat teams by bigger margins than that. We've played 1 game this season. But I'll see you again after the transfer window closes. Fulham and Newcastle, most likely, they're there. So, or just Fulham, depending on how busy it is. I'm not expecting much. So I'll get on those 2 home fixtures between now and then as well. Probably better than that, let's be real. That's always the worst fixture of the year, and it's out of the way already. I'm just looking at in previous years. It was 4-0 last year away from home, 5-0 at home. 5-0 away from home season 1. 3-2 at home. That wasn't actually that bad. But still, it's on trend. And Liverpool keep getting better because they keep signing even better players. So, yes, not entirely unexpected. Just a shame that it's happened again, really, more than anything. So I'll see you again very soon. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Hopefully you click that subscribe button by now. Go on. It's right there. Until next time. Ciao.